had like a seizure. Hold on. Yeah, the stream died, didn't it? Holy heck. Are we still on? Hello? Hello? Are we still alive? Are we back? How long was it out for? I think we're back, right? Hacker stream, everyone. 5 seconds, I think. We were only out for 5 seconds. That's not too bad. Right? Right? Are we back? Am I alive? Am I living right now? Am I undead? Just a network hiccup? Yeah, that's what I assume it was. I hope that doesn't happen very often. I guess since I'm in a new place, streaming, this might happen. Which I hope it doesn't. It'll be fine, right? It'll be fine. Eventually, 10 o'clock comes around. An hour passed with no new developments. Repeated attempts to contact the hijackers have been made, but they have yet to make any demands. Tensions are beginning to rise. Worst case scenario is that they have no need to make demands, that their objective is to seize the passenger plane itself. In this case, the team would be facing a large-scale terrorist attack.
Come on, talk to us.
Captain mutters to himself, deep in thought. From the perspective of the rescuing the hostages, every second that passes without learning of the hijackers' objective is a second wasted. The captain and his team can wait in hiding, but the same is not true for the passengers on board. For untrained civilians, extreme stress can lead to physical and mental problems. Yes. It's not true only for the hostages, but for the hijackers as well. When people lose their nerve, they tend to act rashly. The hostages will begin to lose hope, and the hijackers will begin taking it out on the hostages. An hour into the incident, anything could be happening inside the plane. The captain could do nothing but glare at the time as time ticked by. I guess just watching all this happen, and that's why like we're learning about it. Because this is Aigis' perspective. After 15 more minutes had passed, a slight change in the situation was reported. All emails and calls going through the stations near the airport have been checked, but at the moment no messages are thought to have been sent from inside the plane. It appears that the hijackers have confiscated all cellular phones, and per standard hijacking plans.
Sir, there's a report from HQ. They picked up a transmission from one of the passenger's cell phones. It's a smartphone with GPS, so they can tell it's inside the plane.
Confirm those details for me.
There are two possibilities. The hijackers are using a passenger's phone to contact associates outside, or the passenger is contacting someone in secret. The latter possibility is more likely. More and more devices have communication capabilities now, making it extremely difficult for hijackers to move them entirely from play. And the more hostages there are involved, the more courageous they become, and the more likely they are to take risks. Unfortunately, more hostages means it's all more dangerous to provoke the hijackers. Each individual hostage is worth less to them. The details of the transmission make it apparent that the situation is worse than the team had assumed. Cell phone's owner is a man in his 60s in first class. He signed up for a certain service after being diagnosed with a heart illness. It is a remote EKG monitoring service that keeps track of the patient's heartbeat. A scheduled message was automatically sent from the patient's cell phone. The service provider promptly contacted the police, informing them that the man was in bad shape.
The man's life is at stake if we don't wrap this up within the hour. Looks like we can't stall for time.
As panic spreads, a proposal for negotiations based on this fact and a proposal to storm the plane are both considered. But because only half the passengers have boarded, the situation inside the plane is uncertain, making devising a tactical plan difficult. Though if nothing is done, a passenger will surely succumb within the hour. Oh, what to do? A blunder like that must be avoided at all costs. That was the thinking that guided the police officials to make their decision. That same day, at 10:30...
What? Withdraw? This is a hijacking! What are you thinking, withdrawing our people? Yes, I understand.
Wait, what's going on?
Orders are orders. We'll fall back at once. Get ready.
No one understood the sudden withdrawal order. Why withdraw the team during a hijacking? No one on the scene agreed with the decision, but the order could not be overturned. The men here are not the brain, but the limbs whose power is best put to be used precisely, by precisely following order. Then another group approaches without a sound. The members are dressed differently in suits and trench coats, but all of them are wearing black and sunglasses. At a glance, it's clear that they are tall, well-built, and used to rough situations. With nearly 20 of them gathered in one place, they are imposing despite their silence. They don't seem to be airport personnel, but neither are they known to the police. But the captain senses they're on the same line of work and approaches.
Who are you?
His voice is laced with suspicion. The man at the head of the group speaks dispassionately, as if he heard nothing.
For the next half hour, we're in command of this scene.
Got a new phone which can play Genshin on it. Ah, nice, nice. Got any tips? Mostly have fun. Don't worry about meta. Do not worry about meta whatsoever. Meta only matters at endgame. So, like, literally, just have fun, play who you want to play. And if you have Bennett, use him. Bennett is amazing. Also Sucrose, if you have Sucrose. They're like the best 4 stars. But yeah, just have fun, you know? Just have fun.
You didn't answer the question. Who's responsible for this?
Captain's tone is unconsciously hardens. A group of men in black parts and one of their number in the rear steps forth. Captain can't stop himself from furrowing his brow. He can already sense the unrest spreading amongst his team who watches in silence. One stepping forward looks like a 17 or 18-year-old girl. She's dressed in black and wears sunglasses like those around her. Her slender build is out of place. Her blonde hair stands out even more in contrast to her all-black outfit. The girl walks a few more steps forward and removes her sunglasses. Captain had tended to appraise the look in her eyes, but only gasped in the face of her crystalline blue. He quickly regained himself and frowned.
So you're the one in charge?
Yes.
Aw, heck. It's a gacha game, I know not to worry about the meta. Also, I've already gotten both of them. Nice, nice. Good, good, good.
Are you shitting me?
There is no time to waste quarreling.
The girl looks at him fearlessly, despite the armed team surrounding her. The absurdity of it all is what helps the captain get over his surprise. Her age and appearance are most likely meaningless. She's clearly no ordinary girl.
Are you not even gonna tell me who you're with?
I cannot.
So you expect me to hand over control of the scene to you without even telling me who the hell you are?
I believe orders to withdraw have already been issued.
Her calm, sweet voice only irritates him. The captain closes distance to the girl, and while he stops him short of grabbing her suit, he glares into those blue eyes from only inches away.
Lady, I don't know what kind of juice you have with the brass, but are you ready to be responsible for the deaths of those passengers?
Oh no, she is ready.
Your protests are doing nothing to relieve the danger. Rescuing them as soon as possible is my, or rather, our duty.
The girl's completely unruffled as she speaks. Like she's a machine or something, Captain thinks, more dumbfounded than angry.
Have faith in us. We too wish to save them.
For the first time, something like determination flickers within those crystalline eyes. But looking into them, the captain finds something akin to resolve and confidence in them. He steps back. Raising his right hand to his chest, he shows the girl his watch.
Right. But you got exactly 30 minutes and not a second more.
Understood.
After the girl nods, she gives instructions to prepare a stair card to the group she's leading. Captain's wrist tightens nervously. Since there are few uses for a stair card, quietly moving it in place may make the hijackers think that a strike team is getting ready to storm the plane. There is no hesitations in the girl's actions.
Well then, move in as naturally as possible while staying in their blind spots.
Eventually, a roofless stair car advances slowly towards the passenger
The closest we can get
plane.
without them noticing will be about 10 meters from the plane.
That will be more than enough.
More than enough? What's the point of half-assing it like that? Captain's annoyance begins to turn to curiosity. If she's placing the SATs, she must have a plan beyond simple brute force, but...
Now, let's begin.
The stair car stops. The girl gets out of the driver's seat. She walks silently behind the vehicle, turns toward the passenger plane, and squats
What's
down.
she doing?
Captain brings up a pair of binoculars to see what she will do. At first, he assumes she's going to use the stair car's movement as a decoy, send her team from a different direction. Like humans, most vehicles have significant blind spots above and underneath. Yet that doesn't seem to be her plan. Do you plan to make her move while using the stair car as cover? Is she possibly going to snipe them? Just disregards the possibility. It would be foolish to set up a sniper perch at a low angle of elevation. Elevation, yeah. Where the girl is now. While the captain mulls over the question, the girl makes an unexpected move. She appears to lower her stance slightly one moment, and then the next, she is no longer in sight. By the time Captain realizes she is running, she has already reached the top of the stair car. The slender body launches like a cannonball from the top of the stairs.
What? She jumped?
Even the SAT members voice their surprise. The girl leaps arcs of distance over 10 meters. It's clearly beyond the abilities of a human being. Coming in the middle of the hijacking, the scene seems even more surreal. The girl lands on top of the aircraft and stands as if nothing unusual had happened. Looks at the aircraft beneath her and slowly turns her head to scan it from back to front. It reminds the captain of the movement of a security camera. He knows it should be impossible, but he wonders if he could see through the plane's ceiling. Eventually, the girl seems convinced of something and begins walking. When she reaches the boarding hatch of the front, she moves her right hand to her back. Captain notices that a special knife, coated in gray from blade to hilt, is in her hand.
What's she gonna do with that knife?
The girl suddenly lowers her stance and slides down the slide of the aircraft. Just as she's about to fall, she thrusts the knife into the jamb of the hatch and dangles from
That's
it.
just crazy.
She then uses her left hand to pull the handle and locks the hatch with ease. Once a thick, airtight door juts out of the aircraft, the girl nimbly jumps into the plane. The captain is shocked by her dauntless methods. He begins to wonder if she intends to defuse the situation on her own. The captain lowers the binoculars and faces reality before him with his own eyes. Who in the world is she? The doubts he had dismissed rise within him again. This is a really interesting introduction for IES. A warning light goes on in the cramped cockpit. Two people are there and notice it at once. One of them is the captain sitting in the pilot's seat. The other is the man holding a gun to the back of the captain's head. The light is labeled hatch open. Even an amateur can understand what that means. The man suddenly tenses and stands ready at the passenger side door. Prepares himself for someone to charge through it. He quickly regains composure and turns the gun to the back of on the captain. The man casts irritated glances back and forth between the captain and the door for a while, but eventually approaches the door, his gun pointed at the captain. He cautiously cracks open the door and looks toward the passenger seating. Just outside the cockpit is the first class section, but the passengers were gathered in the economy class at the time of the hijacking. First class is empty. The man squints. Ward off observation or worse, snipers, the window covers were down. Coming to the darkened plane from the bright cockpit forces his eyes to adjust. But from the corner of his eye, he sees a gleam of light shining in that's unlike the regular ones. And within that light is a silhouette. Before he can react, the silhouetted figure closes the distance. A hand grabs the edge of the door and opens it with tremendous force. Two quick, heavy blows follow. The man collapses without a sound. The captain turns around in surprise to see the intruder, a blonde girl with an index finger to her lips, signaling silence. She first lays the man on the ground, then removes the pistol from his hand. On closer inspection, it is only a model gun, supplemented with metal parts. The seam between the parts is in different places compared to a real gun. If taken apart, the disassembled pieces would look nothing like a real pistol. The girl then takes handcuffs from a small pouch on her waist and fastens the man's arms to his seat leg near the window. Even if he wakes up, he will be unable to stand. Though the captain still looks as if he wishes to say something, the girl's eyes meet his and insist on silence as she leaves. The curtain dividing first class and the economy class is closed. The girl hides herself behind it and peeks through. There's a man in each of the aisles on left and right. Neither seems to have noticed her. The passenger and cabin crew are crammed into seats in the back. Everyone's placement matches the readings of what her heat sensors picked up from above the plane. Both remaining hijackers are closer to first class. The man closest to her is only a few steps away. She judges that he can be easily disabled if she moves quickly. They both carry pistols, but at the same type as the downed hijacker. What she can see, these two are mere model guns. The girl swiftly pushes aside the curtain and grabs the closer man's right wrist. Hijacker, caught off guard by the sudden appearance of such a slender girl, stops moving for a moment. He surrenders any chance of victory he may have had. With a pained cry, he drops the pistol to the ground. The girl uses her grip on his right hand to put him on the ground, and smoothly pulls out another pair of handcuffs and locks his arm into the passenger seat. The man thrashes about, but despite his struggle, he's no better than a worm writhing on the ground. The last hijacker finally recovers from his shock and aims his gun. The girl pulls a button from the other man's sleeve and flicks it towards her opponent's face. The button travels at immense speed, though it is only launched from her fingers. The man tries to shield his face, but he is too late. He groans in pain while the projectile strikes his forehead. The girl does not let this opportunity pass. She easily jumps over the 3-seat wide center block of seats with one arm and grabs the man's right hand. She repeats the same procedure she used before. The weapons are immediately seized while they are restrained on the floor. Passengers are now only grasping what's happening before their eyes. A murmuring chorus arises.
Do not be alarmed. I have come to rescue you. Your safety has not been secured yet, so please stay calm and remain in your seats.
The passengers erupt in a cheer. There's sporadic applause as well, but there's a slightly hysterical tinge to it in reaction to the tension of the situation.
Excuse me. We were told someone requires medical assistance for their chronic heart illness. His name is...
Just as the girl approaches the center of the plane, she senses a male passenger stand up from his seat. He's extremely calm and quiet as he does so. The girl belatedly picks up on the incongruity. All the other passengers are nervous. It's then she feels something hard pressing up against the back of her head. She knows without looking it's a muzzle of a gun. The nearby passengers' cry of relief suddenly turn to screams.
I am impressed with your judgment to stay hidden until an opportunity arose.
The girl is unperturbed as she continues to look straight ahead. The man stays silent as he keeps the pistol pressed to her head, and she knows there is no danger of being shot, but she is not yet sure that he was the only one hiding. Left with no choice, the girl accedes to his demands and moves forward. After about 10 steps, another man stands up, as expected.
And you too.
The man doesn't answer. He slowly approaches from the front. The girl is now sandwiched from front and back. At that moment, footsteps sound from beyond the curtain leading into first class. The culprits both react at once, but it is too late. For 10 men in black rush in at once from beyond the curtain. While the girl has drawn the hijacker's attention with the scuffle, the stair car closed in. First, they pin down the man standing in front. The narrow passage gives the man behind her a short reprieve, but doesn't last long. The moment he lowers the hand gripping the pistol in order to escape, the girl grabs his wrist. So focused was he on the men who burst on the scene that he forgot about the threat the girl posed. He's immediately tripped and restrained once he falls on his back. The girl stands up and looks around. If there are any more hijackers inside the plane, this would be their last chance to make a stand, but no one rises from their seat. He glances toward the men in black and they nod back in acknowledgement. It seems the crisis has been averted. The girl carefully keeps her thoughts from appearing on her face, gives an inner sigh of relief. Soon afterward, the sweeper team gives a report confirming the aircraft is secure. The girl works with the cabin crew to arrange the transport for the man with the heart illness before she steps out for a moment. She stands on the stair car and turns to a blue designator light, waving it in circles toward the SAT's position. It is a signal that the crisis is over.
She's done already?
On receiving the sign, the SAT on standby start talking amongst themselves.
It hasn't even been 5 minutes. There should have been at least 3 hijackers.
You know what they remind me of is those guys. Like Men in Black or something.
Well, they were men in black. Well, they were people in black.
Captain, who are those people? Is that one even human?
Captain sighs with reluctance.
This is just a rumor, but I've heard that the higher-ups formed an unofficial security group in conjunction with a certain corporation. It's supposedly for cases that are a little strange. I hear they have some official standing with the police too, though it's all some private enterprise, so technically there's no authority involved at all.
What? But this is Japan we're talking about.
A search and destroy unit that answers to no department and keeps no records. I've heard them called shadow operatives.
Turns on his own blue light as a sign of understanding and waves it left and right. The response light comes from up ahead. The girl then sees the captain spreading his arms in a shrug and smiles for the first time. She feels slightly bad for them. Her team may have shamed them, though they had done nothing wrong. She should apologize to them later. But then, out of the corner of the girl's eye, near the entrance of the luggage carts in the corner of the building, a figure catches her attention.
A girl?
What? Okay, this is sus. The girl seems to be about her age and is wearing a plain cape-like dress. For some reason, her appearance feels unsettling. To begin with, given the heightened security, the parking entrance should be strictly sealed. The figure looks like a civilian.
May I check on something?
The girl calls to the SAT captain over the radio. Noticing some slight interference, she looks down to adjust the frequency dial.
What is it?
If you look towards my left, in front of the luggage loading bay is...
During the moment she looked away, the figure disappeared.
She's not there. That can't be.
She's hallucinating. The girl looks around, but the figure is nowhere to be seen. Where could she have gone in the open space with nowhere to hide?
What's the matter?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was apparently seeing things.
The girl shuts the radio off. Who was that just now? Was I truly seeing things? With those questions in mind, the girl tries to remember the figure's appearance in detail. Only then does she realize the cause of her unease. The light blue dress the figure wore. Very similar to the one she herself had once. Reminds her of the days when she did not yet have a heart. The girl puts those thoughts aside and returns to the aircraft. The mission does not end with taking the culprits into custody. Truth, along with defusing the situation, securing the safety of one particular passenger was her highest priority. The fact was not revealed to the SAT. The passenger was originally seated in first class, but would have been forced to move. The girl looks carefully through the restless passengers. Not long before she finds the face she seeks. Looking relieved, the girl walks toward the passenger in question.
Are you all right, Mitsuru-san?
Hey.
I didn't think you'd be the one to come.
I didn't know she was on the... She was on the plane. I guess she would be, right? Because she was... Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. The woman who answers has long, shining hair that would make an impression on anyone. Even sitting quietly in her seat, her refined appearance makes her stand out. But I guess knows the woman well.
In fact, I was surprised to be called on to deal with something like this. The suspects made no demands. What were they after? At first, I thought I was summoned because you were their target, Mitsuru-san.
The higher-ups must have thought the same thing and panicked. Especially considering there's cargo on that plane they wouldn't want made public.
Yeah.
Wait a second, that cargo...
Is something wrong?
This hijack seems strange now that I think about it. They made their move before takeoff, which is odd timing. And they forced the boarding announcement to be stopped. I thought maybe it was their way of trying to pull it off with a small team.
Are you saying that rather than a passenger, they were after that cargo? It's true that no one would consider the unloaded luggage during a hijacking.
I guess I need you to check on my things. Though if I'm right, it's already too late.
Yeah, so she's already placed it all together. In response, Igus instructs her team via radio to secure all luggage transport routes. Moreover, she requests a search to ensure that no cargo had been taken.
Even if you're right, why would they be interested in your belongings?
My usual cargo wouldn't be worth hijacking a plane over. But I was carrying something sensitive this time.
So Igus doesn't even know?
Normally, if they wanted it, they'd have to bypass a Kirijo facility's security or attack the vehicle transporting it. But by doing it this way, they can divert the entire country's attention with a few model guns.
Mitsuru smiles. Igus can tell that she is impressed with their audacity, despite herself.
Mitsuru-san's cargo. Sensitive belongings for a vacation. I understand. Hijacking a plane out of a desperate desire for undergarments.
Oh my god.
This incident will surely go down in history.
I guess no. Mitsuru eyes bulge at the unexpected comment.
What? You're jumping to conclusions. It's not sensitive in that way.
Oh
Besides,
my
my
God.
underwear is in this bag and... That's it. Enough about underwear.
She forces a cough and steers the conversation back on
More
track.
accurately, my cargo contained items from Ergo Research.
Yeah, like what the heck, Igus?
My trip to Kagoshima was partly vacation, but also to oversee their transferal to Yakushima.
The official name of Ergo Research is the Kirijo Ergonomics Research Lab. Both Mitsuru and Igus have had many bitter memories associated with the name. A pall hangs in the air, but a radio transmission from one of Igus' team cuts the moment short.
Igus speaking. I see. Understood.
Mitsuru looks at Aigis questioningly and she
It's
nods.
as you suspected. They found that one of the boxes scheduled for transport has gone missing.
I thought as much.
With a small sigh, Mitsuru rises from her seat.
We must get it back, I guess. The rest of the team can finish up here. I need you to come with me.
Aigis inspects Mitsuru's face carefully.
Will you be joining the search as well?
Well, I am personally involved, so yes.
In other words, you will officially rejoin the unit and participate in this mission. To be more direct, is it accurate to say that you are abandoning your vacation?
Yeah. Mitsuru sighs with some exhaustion. Aigis interprets her silence as approval.
Then I hereby transfer command authority to you, Mitsuru-san. Regulations state that the member with the lowest serial number is to take command. And since you are member number 1, the official leader of the Security Department Shadow Response Unit, also called the Shadow Operatives.
I had a feeling I wouldn't be able to enjoy this vacation for long.
It wasn't really a vacation if you were transporting such precious cargo, you know? Traveling with cargo from Ergo Research suggests that her vacation was neither relaxing nor cheerful.
But I can't allow anyone to be hurt again by the things we, the Kirijo group, created. We'll get this cargo back at all costs. Mission or no mission, I'm making it a personal priority.
Understood.
Aigis answers loudly and snaps off the police salute that she's finally gotten the hang. Alright, now how does this all connect to Persona 4 Land? I am Aigis. My official name is 7th Generation Anti-Shadow Suppression Weapon. As my name implies, I am not human. I'm a humanoid weapon, essentially a robot. Though with the right clothes, a surprising number of people cannot tell the difference. I was created in a research lab owned by one of the world's foremost conglomerates, the Kirijo Group. I was made to exterminate a certain enemy. They are called shadows, monsters born from people's repressed emotions, granted dark life. Shadows can only be defeated by those with special power of personas. One's persona is said to be a power to wield the shadow within. They are two sides of the same coin. No one cannot have a persona if they do not also have a heart. I was given a mind to artificially develop a persona, and a body close to that of a human, so that my mind can maintain a personality, a heart designed for battle, a body designed for battle. I did endure some suffering because of my original purpose, but I now have a place where I belong, somewhere I can make full beneficial use of my powers. That is the Security Department, Shadow Response Unit. Our nickname is the Shadow Operatives. Shadow Operatives were formed at Mitsuru Kirijo's directive. He was the scion of my creators, the Kirijo Group, as well as the one who has been given full responsibility for handling the shadows. Our objective is to identify and resolve incidents involving shadows. We do this by eliminating them. All of our members are persona users, or have similar qualifications. During operations, our guidelines state that the member within the smallest number has command. The number that was issued was 5. Though I'm not human, I'm treated as a member, and not a piece of equipment. Moreover, my number is in the single digits. It's possible that there will be missions like today where I must take command of dangerous operations. In other words, I am recognized as having the same life and dignity as humans. Because Mitsuru-san and the others have such trust in me, I want to repay that trust with results. There's another reason I'm working my hardest on this case. Soon after hijacking was resolved, stolen cargo was identified. Its content surprised me. 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon. The unit named Labris. He was one of my sister units. He was sealed over a decade ago and has been in storage with other artifacts ever since. Labris, a humanoid weapon, just like me. It's possible that she has a heart, and if she does, I want to save her before she's misused. This is a mission, yes. Moreover the fact, I feel it's a duty I must carry out. Place a bookmark. And she hasn't even met Naoto at all, or any of the other Persona 4 boys. The next day, May 2nd, 2012. We wanted to pursue a vehicle carrying Labras as soon as the hijacking was over, Complicated route made it hard to track. Due to the sensitive material of the cargo, it is difficult to set up a large-scale traffic checkpoints. Fortunately, the license plate number was determined quickly. We got a rough estimate of its destination. Our headquarters were moved to the police facility. Mitsuru-san and our team sorting out the situation to plan for an operation.
And the interrogation of the suspects?
It's begun, but all of them are claiming that their memories at the time are very foggy, so they've been sent in for evaluation. The psychologists who interviewed them think it's possible they're not lying.
Thank you, Phantom.
So none of the 5 have any memories of what happened during the hijacking.
Oh, what?
Normally that would seem preposterous. There may have been some hypnotic effect, but even then...
They used the persona?
We're dealing with someone after materials from Ergo research. They'll likely be very well informed about shadows and the mind. Knowing that, it doesn't seem so strange. It would also explain the extreme lengths they went to create a decoy. What else do we know?
Another team member answers Mitsuru-san's question.
Since the cage storing the 5th generation is too large to transport by personal auto, we narrowed our search to large vehicles that left the airport. That, combined with the testimony from our observer and data from the transmitter, allowed us to pinpoint the vehicle in question. The police are already pursuing it via the N system. This is the most recent photo.
He hands the tablet to
The
Mitsuru-san.
Inaba area. Wasn't this the place where...
Yes, our routine investigation last year rated the potential shadow activity in the area at level 4.
Seems that the culprit in this case had prior knowledge of shadows after all. If that's true, we must use extra caution. Many people do not know about shadows, though they are enough of a threat to possibly destroy the world. Then again, I experienced that for myself 3 years ago. If someone is trying to manipulate them, we must prevent it at all costs.
Let's talk about the stolen 5th generation unit. I guess, as the 7th generation, would be her younger sister.
A sister. My older sister.
I'd like to know why she was sealed.
5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labris. The records show her to be the first model fitted with an artificial personality.
In other words, she has a heart?
There's no knowing if it was developed enough to call it that.
Okay.
She seems to have been made to gather test data rather than actual field use.
What are her combat capabilities?
She wasn't given firearms since her regulatory system was inadequate. So she was instead loaded with some kind of special equipment. Unfortunately, the majority of the records pertaining to her are missing, which means that's the extent of our knowledge.
I thought she had weapons.
Special equipment.
We also don't know why she was sealed. Many of the documents regarding the old Ergo research were lost, probably to cover up incriminating evidence. We don't even know what she looks like. All we do know is that she was a life-sized android.
We'll just have to find out along the way.
Yeah. Mitsuru-san swipes her fingers across the tablet a few times and shows it to an aide.
I'll need these 3 individuals' cooperations. I'd like to join them in the field.
Are you sure about this?
Try not to make a scene when fetching them. Not all of them are part of our organization.
The aide nods his assent and returns to his station. Mitsuru-san then turns her gaze on
And
me.
I guess, frankly, I think we can assume that there'll be combat involved. Will you be all right with that?
Though Mitsuru-san doesn't say it out loud, I understand what she means. Our highest priority in this operation is to stop the culprit and mitigate any associated danger, not to rescue Labris. Of course, we will strive to accomplish both, but in the worst-case scenario, we must consider the option of destroying Labris. Destroying a sister unit. It'll be a painful experience if she, too, has a heart. Dude, that'll just be like killing someone then if she has a heart, wouldn't it?
I thank you for your concern, but I'll be fine. I will do my duty.
Mitsuru-san says nothing more and silently nods.
Well then, once we can confirm our target is headed to Inaba, we'll depart at once.
And then how do they know about the TVs then? May 3rd, 2012. As we get ready to depart for Inaba, Mitsuru-san and I go over last-minute details inside the police station. Mitsuru-san is absorbed with issuing instructions over the cell phone she is holding. Pessimism seeps into my heart as I wait. I begin muttering to myself.
Will we be able to find Labris? My sister?
Mitsuru-san's surprised voice makes me realize how unlike me these doubts are.
Will we be able to save her? Isn't that what you really want to ask? Don't worry. As I mentioned to Akihiko, fighting Labrys is not our priority. The reason I formed this shadow operative team is to save lives.
Does Labrys' lives count? Does that count?
We will find her, whatever it takes, and bring her back. We can do this.
Yes. I'm sorry to be so pessimistic.
Those feelings you have for Labrys, you should tell her when you see her.
I will.
Hey, Blade, what's going on, bro? Friends bound by trust are irreplaceable indeed. Hope that Labrys will become one as well. Eventually, the preparations are made and a limousine departs on its journey to Inaba. That evening, we are in Inaba now and traveling down a Midtown street. Though it is called Midtown, it is very different from an urban environment. It is a quiet, rustic road. The vehicle we are targeting is easily discovered. The transmitter that was attached to it when it left from the airport is luckily for us still active. But the vehicle has been abandoned and the cargo is gone as well. To trace it further, we must learn why the culprit came here. Specifically, we need to know the details of what happened last year. Though we are already assumed. This was already assumed, so we have a plan. Mitsuru-san orders the drivers to park nearby. However, this poses an unexpected problem. The vehicle's long, black, 8-door limousine will stand out in this countryside town no matter where it's parked. Yeah, for real.
Mitsuru-san, our activities are supposed to be undercover, correct?
Yes.
For undercover missions, it will be necessary to keep all personnel and vehicles from being noticed.
Right.
Mitsuru-san, may I say something that I've been meaning to say for a while now?
This limousine stands out like a sore thumb.
No.
Understood.
All I told them was to give us a car with enough space.
Wherever we go, people will peer into the windows out of curiosity. We avoid the public eye as much as possible and finally park in what looks to be a site for vehicle disposal on the outskirts of the town.
Our contact has arrived.
I then notice a middle-aged man in a gray suit standing outside of the window. I recognize his face. He's one of the 3 collaborators Mitsuru-san contacted before our departure. I scoot over to the door and open a window.
Oh my! This was not our designated meeting area, yet he has discovered us.
Suddenly, something not unlike exasperation nor disappointment appears on his face.
You want to know how I did it?
Goff interrupts
We
us.
appreciate your cooperation, Detective Kurosawa.
Mitsuru-san gets out of the vehicle and slightly bows. 3 years ago, when we were still fighting shadows in secret, Detective Kurosawa worked as a police officer at a nearby police box. He believed that our intentions were good and supplied us with certain conveniences under the table. His job made this risky, but he's always acted on behalf of what he believed to be just. He said that many times while supporting us in secret. He's a strong man, one who always acts on his beliefs. But now our organization has official government sanction. He cannot cooperate with us without being considered a dissident. In fact, now that Kurosawa-san's prior actions are justified, he's been promoted for his expertise. I have heard that he is now a plainclothes detective working in a central precinct.
Long time no see, miss. And I guess, was it?
Indeed. It has been a while.
Kurosawa-san fixes his eyes on Mitsuru-san and me. It is faintly awkward. We're both dressed for combat, and I'm not wearing any clothes to cover my true form.
Oh, sorry for staring. A humanoid weapon. I was skeptical when I heard, but seeing you in person doesn't leave any room for doubt.
I'm sorry that I kept it hidden back then.
It's all right. It would have caused more of a headache if you'd gone around looking like that.
Hearing him say that, I cannot help but smile.
Seeing you laugh like that makes it harder to believe you're a machine.
I shouldn't make you stand while we talk. Please, get in.
Sorry. I haven't seen you in a while, so I had a lot to say.
Mitsuru-san asked Kurosawa-san to collect information on the serial murder case that occurred in this town last year. Okay. When background investigations were carried out across Japan in the end of 2011, this region showed high readings of shadow activity. But although it was investigated, there were no effects apart from slightly unnatural weather. Then again, what if something had happened that was just too hard to detect? Mitsuru-san suspects that the serial murder case was related to these shadows, and asks Kurosawa-san to have a local police force share their reports. We could have requested them directly, but what we wanted would not be the surface information found in investigation records. There are limits to what an official unit cloaked by authority can do with a direct request.
I found out quite a bit regarding the case you had me look into. First, I reviewed the report on the incidents from last year. One of the suspects mentioned the word persona.
I locked gazes with Mitsuru-san.
So what went on here last year?
It's probably related, but I wasn't done there. Parts of this guy's testimony were even more outlandish. If you can take what's in the record at face value, it seems persona users can enter TVs within the Inaba region.
Enter TVs? What does that mean?
Come on, I guess you know what a TV is.
Just what it sounds like. You physically stick your body into the screen and go inside. He claimed there was another world in the TV, and dropping people inside it was the method behind last year's murders.
This all sounds rather absurd. I'm surprised it was included in the police report.
I got in touch with the detective in charge at the time and said the same thing. Apparently the report was filed by a young partner of his at the time. He'd entertained the wildest testimonies like this one.
He sounds like quite the oddball.
Are you talking about Heiken Adachi? Is that who they're talking about?
If this was what really went on, the police would have had no chance cracking it. But that Detective Dojima is one shrewd guy. Even with all the supernatural hocus-pocus surrounding the case, he caught the culprit.
Heck yeah. Kurosawa-san's size. He seems to be tired.
That's all I have for you right now. I should be going. I doubt either of us has time to reminisce over the old days. It's funny though. I thought the fighting was over, but you guys surprise me every time I see you.
Thank you very much, Officer Kurosawa. Why don't we at least see you off?
Oh, that's all right. I've got my own car. I doubt my department would appreciate your tastes. If I ever showed up for work in something like this, I'd be the talk of the force until the day I retired.
He opens the door and exits the vehicle. He gives a short farewell and leaves without turning back.
Mitsuru-san, this could be bad. Our sense of social aptitude is in question.
I can't deny that.
What should we do now?
TV time,
yes.
TV time.
First, we'll need to test the claim that Persona users can enter TVs.
Hearing this makes me realize something. I thought I called it a vehicle disposal site. Looking around, I can now see that there are also household electronics, like refrigerators discarded here as well. In a corner is a stack of TVs.
There is a discarded TV over there. If the environment does not matter, we can use it to test the phenomenon.
I voluntarily get out of the vehicle.
Wait, I guess.
Don't worry. I'm just going to touch it.
Yeah! Yeah! I extend my right hand to touch the screen of the biggest TV I can see. Fingers brush the glass screen. But although I seem to be touching it, I feel no resistance from its surface. Push my hand forward a little more. A weak light runs across the screen and a forearm sticks into it.
Amazing!
Rings of light spread from the contact of my arm, rippling like water across a pond.
Interesting. It's exactly as the police report said. What's it like inside? Do you feel anything?
Not particularly. No. Wait a moment.
My sensor detects a sensation I've never felt before. The knowledge of what it is has already been recorded within me.
It's the same as mine. It's hard to say definitively since this is my first encounter with it, but I believe this reading is from a personality module.
Does that mean our retrieval target is inside the TV?
Ah, okay.
Huh. Sounds like fun.
Hey! I hear a voice coming from an unexpected direction. Mitsuru-san and I look towards it. What we see is a silhouette wearing a low hood that covers his eyes and a tattered cape. It billows in the wind, looking just like a character in a Western movie. He's standing atop a mountain of trash, his arms crossed.
Is that Akihiko?
He appears from out of nowhere. He jumps down nimbly and walks towards us.
You didn't show up at the rendezvous point, so I went looking and found you here. This whole TV thing is pretty interesting.
I would never forget the man laughing so fearlessly. Like Mitsuru-san, he's a friend I once fought alongside, Akihiko Sanada. He was a student boxing champion in his school days, and a staunch ally, powerful even without his persona. He was also our second collaborator on this case.
It's been a while, Akihiko-san.
Yeah, good seeing you.
Akihiko, what on earth are you wearing? Just what were you doing overseas?
Didn't I tell you that I was on a training expedition?
Don't tell me you came here from the airport like that. Does the concept of keeping a low profile mean nothing to
What
you?
do you mean? He looks wonderful.
Mitsuru-san, I believe we have lost the right to complain about that.
Mitsuru-san sighs in annoyance. Oh yes, Akihiko-san was on a training expedition overseas until this morning. As a result, his appearance is slightly, no, very different from the last time I saw him. Hydrate? Heck yeah! It's been almost an hour of reading. Ugh. Stretch and hydrate. All my ice has melted. But his aggressive personality and love of a challenge seem to be the same as always. He gives a cocky smile and smacks his palm with his fist.
Anyway, we can get inside from that TV, right? And what are we waiting for?
Still the same Akihiko. We don't know the situation inside yet, and we'll need a secure means of getting out.
Yeah, my ice has melted. So now the water's all lukewarm, but that's alright. Better lukewarm water than no water at all.
So what? If we want to get this Labrys back, someone has to go inside, right?
Well, that's...
Our target hijacked a plane to throw her into a TV in this town. If we sit on our hands, it's possible we'll be put in serious danger.
Akihiko-san steps toward Mitsuru-san as if
We're
pressing him.
different from how we used to be. We made the choice to fight shadows as professionals. That's why I traveled around the world and trained harder than ever. And now that something's actually come up, you're hesitating?
Oh.
We agreed to do this. I'm ready to stake my life on the mission.
Akihiko-san's opinion is a bit strong, but he's not incorrect. Could be Akihiko-san understands that being slightly forceful is his role. Because Mitsuru-san takes caution seriously. As the ultimate authority in this case, she frequently second-guesses herself. But I've seen Akihiko-san's words cut through her hesitation in the past. It shows his trust in Mitsuru-san not to make decisions in error.
All right. Wait right here. I need to go make a phone call first.
Okay, but make it quick.
Oh, we going in? We going in?
The other members will wait here in the car.
Yeah. If we all barge in and something happens, we'll be devastated.
Now that you mention it, at least one of us should be staying behind as well.
I am not staying.
Us
Yeah,
three will be
subtitles are
plenty.
off, but what can
We'll
you
end
do?
this in a flash. No problem.
The same as always. Although, we have no idea what might be waiting for us on the other side. Don't get careless.
Right.
Well, they fixed
This
one thing.
situation.
The audio isn't
It
crazy
brings back
loud
memories.
anymore. So they fixed that.
Ready!
And there they go. Naoto, just vibing.
Why enter the TV? What's going on?
Yeah, not exactly a new animation though, because we saw it before with Naoto's perspective. I'm surrounded by a white light that strains most of my sensors to the limits. A portion of my sensors indicate I'm currently in a state similar to freefall. Can't tell up and down from left and right. This continues for a while. Eventually, my functions slowly recover. I find myself inside an unknown room sitting on the ground. I quickly stand and check my surroundings.
Is this the music room of a school?
I can see a music stand, a grand piano, a blackboard, and portraits. There is an air of over-exaggerated theatrics to it, but I may not be far from the truth. Is this the world inside the TV? After the surreality of the entering a TV screen comes as quite a surprise.
No sign of Mitsuru-san or Akihiko-san. Did they land elsewhere?
Whoa.
So much noise. I can't contact anyone like this.
I attempt to use my communicator, but there is no response. Looks like an ordinary classroom, but it has an alarming amount of radio interference. When I concentrate my senses again, I detect a bizarre disturbance from the entire area that is unlike normal buildings. This may be another world after all. In any case, I must join up with Mitsuru-san and Akihiko-san. But just as I begin to make plans to do so, the monitor hanging from the ceiling switches on. What appears on it is, how to describe it, a bizarre figure that looks like a living costume. Here we go.
I spy an unknown yet bewitching babe. How unexpected!
What? What? Its comical tone does not last long before the voice becomes distorted and the image disappears. Reminding me of a malfunctioning machine. I stare at the monitor. I have a hunch that it will return soon. As I thought, the costume reappears. His behavior is very different now.
Case 04, unintended intruder. Entering elimination process.
Ah, okay. Mechanical sounding voice is completely different from the joking tone it had before. And that phrase, elimination process, seems that a battle will be starting. I release the safeties from the weapons built into my body. When a large noise comes from behind me.
Whoa!
A young man in a school uniform comes rolling in with a yell.
A human?
Ow! Jeez, they decided to open right then. This makes no damn sense.
Thought that was ready for any eventuality, but I'd not expected to suddenly encounter a human.
Are you all right? You seem to be unharmed.
Young man looks back at me with a steely gaze while fixing his bleached hair with his fingers. The behavior does not seem to be that of one who came in pursuit of me.
What? Never seen you before.
I'm sorry, I haven't introduced myself. My name is Aegis.
Only then do I remember my appearance would seem very peculiar to a casual observer.
I'm a transfer student. I have blue eyes, blonde hair,
Wonderful.
Gatling cannon.
Huh?
I'm sorry, forget what I said. In the past, that prepared explanation for students has been effective, but no longer.
Okay. Anyways,
okay.
I'm Kanji Tatsumi. This mean you're my next opponent?
Opponent? What do you mean?
What do I mean? I'm talking about a scrap!
You mean a fight? But we have only met Tatsumi-san. Actually, where are we?
Enough blabbering, you machine!
The yell, he slams the folding chair in his hand on the ground. The cold, dull, metallic sound echoes and eliminates any possibility for talking this
What's
over.
a big girl like you doing calling me by my name?
Oh, hold on. Is the, messing with their head happening? I go quiet. Fake girl. I understand how I might elicit such a reaction, but there is pain in my chest. But I cannot help but smile at how instinctively I reacted that way. I might have become more human-like than I knew.
I was worried I might have to go up against my senpai, but I ain't gonna hold back against a robot like you.
Thinking with a calm mind, I noticed a small incongruity within his attitude. When he first saw me, he seemed unsure and claimed that he had not seen me before. Yet, though he knows now I'm a machine, he doesn't seem particularly surprised. Are those two things contradictory? Focus my senses once more and enhance my gain on my sensors. I detect a faint interference. As that appeared uniformly across my sensors, I hadn't been aware of it. What is
You're
this?
not gonna do anything. I'll make the first move. Ah! Take Mikazuchi!
Oh, jeez.
A persona?
A light flickers intermediately. Could that be electricity? A thick barrel-like arm charged with a voltage appears from above. I jump back and narrowly escape a crushing blow.
Ah, nice dodge. Looks like you got at least a little bit of fight in you.
Persona user. I was careless. I should have expected that possibility since I encountered him inside a TV. I did not know the procedure for attacking a human. But if he's a Persona user, I must defend myself with the usual armaments.
There is no avoiding this fight. I cannot fall here.
Okay, first fight. Let's go. Let's see how well I do. I doubt I'm gonna actually use her appropriately. Like how you're supposed to use her. Hydrate? Hydrate again? Hold on. Right before the fight? I guess that's understandable. Hold on. I gotta fight first.
What a shit ain't bad. Take this.
I just gotta keep doing the same combo over and over again.
Nothing.
Right? Right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, just keep doing the same thing over and over again. Yeah. Yeah. It works.
Nothing. You ain't bad. Slow poke.
It seems
Ready?
Now that's a grab. Okay.
Persona! Dash! Has the battle been decided? Here!
Nothing.
If only I knew how some of her things work. I'll just kill him with this. Or not. That works too. God, I think out of all the hacking characters I've tried, I guess is my absolute worst. I just cannot get her right. The last time we played this was freaking April 9th, so it's been literally over a month. Absolutely insane.
Are you alright, Tatsumi-san?
I help Tatsumi-san get off the ground and call to him. After repeating myself several times, I hear a groan.
No! Damn it! Ow! Oh, whoa! Hands off!
I'm sorry. If you can't stand, then I'll carry you.
Pick up Tatsumi-san, who's still lying down with both arms.
Whoa! Damn! You're a hell of a lot stronger than you look. Whoa! How come you're carrying me like this? Like a bride or something?
Oh my god.
This is the spousal method of carrying.
Spousal method?
No, it ain't. It's the bridal. Oh, wait a sec. Are they pretty much the same thing?
Tatsumi-san, you seem completely fine.
That's what I've been saying. And stop with the Tatsumi-san crap. It's making my skin crawl. Just call me Kanji.
You don't object to being called that? I'm an artificial person, after all.
Huh? Who cares? If I say it's fine, then it's fine. And will you put me down already?
When I put Kanji-san down as requested, he turns his back and repeatedly scratches his head. I feel as if his demeanor had changed somehow compared to how it was before the fight. Loud voice and rough words are the same, but the sense that he will not listen to a word I say is gone. I feel that I can make myself understood now.
Well then, Kanji-san, allow me to ask again. Where are we? And what did you mean by opponent?
Huh? You're not an enemy that Ted set up for me?
Ted. Are you referring to the bear who appeared on the monitor?
This is a fighting tournament. Only the winners get to keep going. I lost this time. But oh well. I wouldn't make it in the big leagues.
Aw, Kanji. No, you absolutely would.
That sounds like something Akihiko-san would say.
Huh?
Sorry, I was just talking to myself.
Gotta say, you pack one hell of a punch. Got me real good.
Punch? But I didn't throw any punches.
Listen though, the rest of this tournament ain't gonna be so easy. My senpai are waiting up ahead.
There are more people here. Could you estimate how many?
Kanji-san smiles dauntlessly and gives me a thumbs up. I don't really understand why, but I give him a thumbs up as well. Good job. Then Kanji-san keels over. I rush in to catch him. I look into his face, he is still smirking, but he has passed out. Seems like he was fighting through his fatigue for the sake of his pride. Doesn't seem injured, so I carefully set him back down on the floor. Only that costume, Kanji-san call it Ted, appeared again on the monitor.
Intruders are persona users. Due to difficulties in elimination, they will be acknowledged as valid targets.
It's using that mechanical tone of voice again. The intruders must be me and the others. They won't be easy to eliminate. It appears that he's changing tactics. But what would it mean by valid targets? The monitor screen turns off once again. Like before, it flickers back on after a few seconds. The same face as before, but a completely different attitude.
Woohoo! What a fox! Came to join in on our fun? I'm A-okay with that if you're up for a little fighting. I'll wait for you in the next arena up ahead.
This is more of how he sounded in the beginning. Gone back to normal, or at least recovered from the abnormality.
Oh, silly me. If you're cutting in, you don't know who I am. Ahem. I am General Teddy. Remember that name well.
So they're being indoctrinated into the tournament. General Teddy. It appears he really is a teddy bear. Doesn't seem like one, but a number of things he said caught my attention. Joining in on our fun and arena. These are in line with the tournament Kanji-san mentioned. Is this tournament being held here? But the monitor is silent once again and does not return. I do not think I'll make any progress if I remain here. I poke my head through the door where Kanji-san appeared to check on my surroundings. What looks like a school hallway leads straight ahead. There appears to be no danger nearby. I manage to hoist Kanji-san's body over my shoulder and try to leave this room.
What?
Something gets stuck and prevents me from proceeding. I stop and check, but I cannot see any obstructions. Both the sliding doors fell off when Kanji-san came in, and the way is completely open. It should be wide enough for me to pass through easily, even with a person over my shoulder. Yet I cannot proceed. Something is getting stuck. I slow my walking speed and check to see what part of me is getting caught. That's how I discover something surprising. Nothing is blocking the way, yet only Kanji-san's body cannot pass through the door. Seems there is an invisible wall. One that is selective and prevents only Kanji-san's passage between the room and the hallway. Something Kanji-san said comes back to me. Only the winners get to keep going. Is this what he meant? I increase the sensitivity of my various sensors, but I cannot detect any wall here. I have no way of destroying what I cannot touch. Which means I have no choice but to leave Kanji-san here.
Oh well. I will come back for you later. Please stay safe until then.
Yeah, I think I'll be fine. He comes around, he's still a Persona user. It's not if I'm leaving someone behind who can't fend for himself. I reluctantly convince myself to move on. While moving down the hallway, my sensors continue to pick up disturbances from everything in the school. It looks so normal, though. There's a line of glass windows on the wall. Outside is a field level with the ground I am walking on. I seem to be on the first floor of the building. Eventually, I reach a doorway and cautiously ventures outside. There's barely any difference in temperature or atmospheric composition compared to the real world. The lack of wind is unnatural, and there are other discrepancies between here and there. I turn around and inspect the building's exterior. This is indeed a school. I walk along the wall and go around the building. Soon I reach what seems to be the main gate. Turn towards the school building once again, come to a realization.
I recognize this place.
Huh? I've seen a photo from this angle in the preparation materials. As I recall, this is a high school in Inaba. To make sure, I step past the school gate and check the nameplate. The name engraved on the gate's pillar is Yasugami High School. Cross-reference the name with a map of the area and find a match. This is confusing. A real-world location has been completely recreated inside the TV? Why is it structured like nesting boxes? Just then, I sense something moving in the corner of my vision. I quickly turn to view it head-on. The uniformed girl. She is running straight through in the opposite direction of the field. Is she a student? No, this is not a real school. Maybe one of the senpai Kanji-san spoke of? But the moment's thought highlights an important detail. Her pale skin and hair color. There can be no mistake. The girl I saw for a moment at the airport after the hijacking. Oh. I immediately chase after her. The girl is much faster than I anticipate, and I cannot close the distance. I release a portion of my foot speed limiters and finally get close, until I'm able to grasp her right arm from behind.
Huh?
The girl stops running and turns around. There's surprise on her face, but she stares in wide-eyed wonder at my form, though I am surprised myself. The instant I take her hand, a flash of intuition charges through me like electricity. This girl's Lapras. I'm unaccountably convinced.
Who are you? That's one funny-looking costume you've got on.
Oh, well,
Sister!
Oh, of course. You're mixed up in this racket too, aren't you?
Racket? In the tournament?
No, I am not in this tournament of my own free will.
Really? Then you mind letting me go? I'm the student council president. I can't be letting people run wild at this school.
Student council president?
Didn't I tell you to let me go? Are you trying to get in the way of my work here?
The girl looks at me with an irritated expression. How strange. She speaks as if she's really leading an ordinary life here at the school. If she was aware that she was inside the TV, would she say such things to me?
If you happen to know, could you please tell me what sort of place this is?
Huh? It's the first floor of the classroom building. Can't you tell?
Huh? Is it possible that you don't recall entering a TV?
A TV? Listen, I don't know what you're talking about, but I'm kind of in a hurry here. Can I go now?
Before you do, please tell me something. Who are you?
Who? What'd you stop me for if you didn't even know? I just told you. I'm the student council president.
Yeah, but like, what's your name?
What hole have you been hiding in? The elections were just last week. Are we done now? Because I got places to be.
Girl ends the conversation sternly, shakes off my hand, and runs away again. In an instant, she has disappeared into the school building.
Please, wait!
I go after her, but just as I enter the hallway around the first bend, something blocks my path. I can't see what it is at all. Can't see it. And when I reach out my hand, I can feel it. I think I know what this is.
That wall again!
The invisible wall that prevented Kanji-san's passage. Most likely the same thing. Once again, I am surprised. I can touch it, yet my sensors detect nothing. It's much stronger than I had imagined. It repels even gunfire, physical strikes, or nothing. I attempt various methods to destroy it. Before I can, the girl disappears from view.
It seems I am forced to try a different route.
Consider the situation once more. Is that girl truly Lapras? There are too many factors now indicating otherwise. Her appearance and the feel of her arm when I grasped it a moment ago, both are strong signs that she's a human. If she's entirely artificial, then she could not be a part of an older generation of models such as myself. Her speaking voice and behavior were both also indicative of human patterns. According to the records of Lapras' development, she was sealed away soon after. Even I stumble with natural human speech. I could not have become that proficient in so short of time. She's not a machine, but a human, so she cannot be Lapras. Usually I would not hesitate to make such a judgment based on the available data, yet I still cannot shake the feeling that she may be Lapras. The intuition I felt earlier, what caused it? This case remains murky. I feel as if my senses are being ruffled by a thin cloth, but I cannot leave her be. Even if she's not Lapras, the fact itself means she's in danger. I quickly look for an alternative route. Save. I backtrack the way I came and run outside. Suddenly, and I'm enveloped in a tidal wave of sound. These are human voices. Hearing comes from an enormous crowd. I turn around and a thick mass of people run towards me out of nowhere. There are boys and girls in school uniforms. It's clear that everyone is looking at me.
This is impossible!
How did I fail to detect so many humans? But then I notice it. There's white noise running through all my sensors. The same feeling that I had before fighting Kanji-san. What is this? As I stand in thought, the students close in on me. I ask what business they have with me, but the uproar drowns out my voice. I cannot attack them, so I have no choice but to edge backwards. Soon, my back is against the wall. I look around for an escape route. Luckily, there was a door beside me. I hurry inside to find shelter. The room I have entered appears to be spacious. It's dark here, but I believe it is a gymnasium. Here and there, folding chairs and gym equipment are piled in heaps. Looks like to be a result of a strange ritual. Suddenly, a light shines in the corner. On closer inspection, I can see the monitor showing something. It is airing some familiar faces. Oh, is it gonna be the,
Rivals.
Yeah, here we go.
They are friends, yet powerful foes. The desperate fighting program
Familiar
among high
faces,
school
though?
students.
I don't know.
A new legend is about to start.
All she'd recognize is Kanji, right?
Be the manliest of all men! Come on down!
Nobody touches his precious Nanako, the sister complex kingpin of steel, Yu Narukami!
It's only natural.
Wage slave in the boonies by day, hero by night,
Yosuke.
Captain Resentamo,
Whoa, it's a new
Yosuke
animation.
Hanamura!
Ah, shut up.
Everything that bores me has gotta go!
A spunky dragon with deadly legs, the carnivore who's discarded womanhood, Chie Satonaka!
You need to eat more meat!
Please escort me to the ring, my prince, the unconquerable Snow Black, Yukiko Amagi!
I'll finish you in one strike!
Blooming roses and bulging muzzles,
Always
the
nice to see them
blood-curdling
again,
beefcake
though.
emperor, Kanji Tatsumi! Deep into realms of romance, the body of a child, the brain of a genius, the 2000 IQ killjoy detective, Naoto Shirogane!
Is this an army of idiots?
Fight and survive towards the one throne waiting at the end! The P1 Grand Prix where fierce fights will be fought! The battle begins tonight!
I wonder how they even came up with a concept like this. I mean, like, yeah, it's probably pretty easy. Hey, let's have the characters all fight each other. But, like, to come up with these names. I wonder how much fun that would have been. I'm not sure what to say about that video. It seemed to be modeled after promotional videos for martial arts tournaments. I noticed appearances by Kanji-san and the host, General Teddy. People shown must also be participants. It's safe to assume they all are Persona users. As if watching my reactions from somewhere, General Teddy appears on the monitor, replacing the video.
Looks like you're officially getting in on the action. Welcome! Look, everyone, another challenger!
Without warning, there's a loud sound. The doors in every direction open at once. Excited students pour in, cheering and yelling. Oh, I know it, I'm surrounded by people with no means of escape. General Teddy grins at my situation and raises his stubby
Well
arm.
then, bring out the next opponent!
Spotlight shines on the spot where the crowd parts. The female student can be seen. She has short hair and wears a jacket. She looks very athletic. I recognize her face from the video. Her name was Chie Satonaka. She steps in front of me, bouncing from foot to foot.
I heard that you're elbowing in on the tournament. Suits me fine. Let's do this!
She finishes her speech. She takes a fighting stance. Just then, a gleaming silhouette appears behind her. There's another persona. Chie-san extends her hand, palm facing up, and motions with her fingers, taunting me.
Ooh, she's ready and raring to go!
This is strange. Chie-san's willingness to fight is odd enough, but even stranger are the students in the crowd. Even when seeing a persona up and close, there's no signs of alarm. When to think of it, how did they get here? I cannot believe that they're all persona users. But even if they were, how would they be so excited with such brutality? While stuck in a mysterious world filled with potential dangers? Does not seem likely. Perhaps my basic assumptions are faulty. Did they, like these buildings, begin real? I cannot jump to conclusions, but I decide to take the offensive. I turn to the monitor. General Teddy's bouncing up and down gleefully.
I will fight on one condition.
Which is?
Interesting. Answered me. I can hold a conversation with him. It means he can see and hear
That
me.
you immediately release all these students from this school, or rather from this world. If you do that, I will fight as you wish.
Tut tut! Are you making demands to me? Before you get too worried about other people, why not worry about yourself?
I will not fight unless you guarantee their safety.
Yeah, they're not really real, I guess. I glare at General Teddy through the monitor. They want to involve the students, but I have an idea.
Sheesh! What a stubborn girl!
Snaps his stubby fingers. The room instantly fills with light. I ward myself against it by covering my eyes. A few seconds later, the brightness fades to normal. My eyes adjust, I see the students have vanished.
Is that what you wanted?
The general smiles proudly. I guess it was correct. Students were fake. It is easier for him to remove them than to talk me into fighting. As a result, my sensors detected the moment when the students disappeared all at once. Only human here is Chie-san. Looking around, it seems that not everything has disappeared. Human-like figures remain, as if the shadows of the students were burned into the scenery. There were several about the gymnasium. The readings are similar to shadows, but they show no signs of hostility. But these are true forms of those students. They have been unmasked.
Honestly, you're in no position to be making demands, you know.
Yeah, I'm surprised he even did anything about it.
I'm making an exception just this once, because it's no fun if you don't both go at it tooth and claw. Even if you don't resist, your opponent will show no mercy. It'll be a grisly sight.
Come on! Even if the crowd was still here, would you not have hit back when I hit you?
No. The safety of the people must be prioritized above all else.
Ha! That's pretty cool of you, actually.
Aww.
But self-sacrifice doesn't mean much coming from a machine. They can just fix you right up.
Oh, wow.
Oh, that's right. It doesn't even count as self-sacrifice for a machine. It's just what you're programmed to do. You probably don't feel pain or anything, huh? It just seemed that way because you look human.
You may not understand, but I can sense pain as well.
Really? That's such a weird thing to program into a weapon. Doesn't make any sense to me.
That's...
I struggle to answer. Chie-san smiles
Well, that's
wide.
fine with me. Means I can fight you without pulling any punches.
Her smile disappears and her eyes spark with a fire as she launches herself at me. I'd rather not fight her, but she is a persona user. I clench my teeth and make myself ready to intercept
If I
her.
must fight you, then I will.
Alright. Maybe I'll get a handle on Aegis this time. Maybe.
Finally!
I love poppin' music. God. There we go.
I failed.
Grab. No?
Try this. I am a dragon. Done for fun. Now. Going. I'm not done.
Hey, Monkey Senpai. How are you doing, bro?
Such a wuss.
There we go.
All right,
Easy enough.
over. Until next time.
I'm honestly a little tired still.
Oh, sheesh. Wow. You're definitely a pro when it comes to fighting.
I'm sorry. Are you all right?
Yeah. But boy, I didn't stand a chance against you. Hey, what's all this about you being a robot?
She's upset by her loss, but she seems cheerful. She didn't show this open-mindedness before the fight. Perhaps, with Kanji-san, I could make peace with her by... No, it is in vain of me to think of it that as possible. Her words echo in my mind. It doesn't even count as self-sacrifice for a machine, it's just what you're programmed to do. Hate to admit it, but her observation is correct.
I may seem like a ridiculous machine to you, but I'm still...
Huh? I never said that. Wait. You're not acting like you did before the fight. I'm surprised that you're a robot, but what gives?
Jae-san looks stupefied. Her expression confuses me as well. She stated it clearly, but yet she doesn't remember? And something hit me. Didn't things go similarly with Kanji-san as well? Could it be something was done to the participants? I should avoid drawing conclusions based solely on speculation. Besides, there's something I must do first.
That reminds me, I haven't introduced myself yet. My name is Aigis.
Looks like we let our fists say too much before we opened our mouths.
I saw the introductory video. You're Chie Satonaka, correct?
Yep. Oh, you can just call me Chie.
The carnivore who's discarded womanhood.
I guess you don't want to bring that up.
Okay, you didn't need to bring that part up, and I didn't discard anything. I can use a persona, but I'm just an ordinary high school student. I go to Yasugami High. So anyways, are you, seriously a machine? No foolin'?
Yes, I was created as a weapon for a certain purpose. It may be difficult to explain to you.
Nah, I can tell from the fight you're telling the truth. Huh, so you're not cosplaying. Then again, it'd be pretty nuts for someone to come out here to cosplay.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, Chie-san, can you tell me what this place, this world, is? I confess that I am looking for someone. While pursuing them, I heard the rumor about going inside TVs and ended up here.
Oh, right. You can use a persona. That's how you got into the TV. Where should I start? I don't know exactly how it works, but this place is supposedly a realm formed by human thought.
By thought? Does that mean this is someone's mental landscape?
I guess so.
Then we physically entered a mental world? Through a TV, no less? How can this be?
To tell the truth, I never understood it so well myself. There was this insane monster thing around town up until early spring. It created this whole world, and I got my persona because of what happened in here.
Jae-san folds her arms with a troubled look on her face.
Come to think of it, all this stuff should have been over and done with. But you see that ad showing on the monitor over there? It suddenly started getting shown on TV in reality. There's no way we were gonna stand for that crap to be shown. So that's why me and my friends came in here to put a stop to it.
Your friends are here as well?
Yeah, a couple. Also, that Teddy guy who's hosting this, plus the girl Rise who's serving as commentator. They're my friends too, but they're acting so weird.
She lets out a sigh.
Sorry, listen to me, babbling away. Do you think you can find this person you're looking for? Actually, could whoever it is get in here? I don't think normal people can enter the TV.
To tell you the truth, I have already encountered one such person, but...
I tell her about the girl I saw. Give her all the details I can remember. I recall that she called herself the student council president. I did not seem aware that she was inside the TV.
Oh, you mean the girl who was calling herself the student council president? Yeah, I saw her too. She was yelling into a bullhorn to stop this foolishness, but then she ran off saying she was gonna go talk to the tournament's host.
She was wearing the same skirt that you are, Chie-san. It seems to be part of a uniform. Are you acquainted with her?
No, I don't know her. It's funny, that girl said she was elected last week, but if I remember right, our student council president was a guy.
I have many doubts about her. Must meet her again to figure her out.
Thank you. I now have a better understanding of the situation. Well then, I should be going now. I would like it if you could come along, but...
I know, I can't leave here, right? I'll stay put for now.
They have surprisingly good chemistry.
I will come back for you later. You may find it hard to trust me, but...
No, I believe you.
Jae-san replies unhesitatingly.
I've been through so much over this past year that I'm pretty confident I can read people. Honestly, though, what other choice do I have? If you run into any of my friends, tell them I'm okay.
I will.
After wiping the dust from her right hand with her sleeve, Chie-san extends it to me.
Aigis-san, right? So, if this was some fighting manga, we'd beat the tar out of each other, then shake hands in the end as best friends. A powerful enemy can become a powerful friend, you know?
Exactly. I clasp her hand, and she smiles in embarrassment.
Friendship can do amazing things. I saw that for myself last year.
Friendship is magic, after all.
And you and I can be friends too, so, you don't need to talk like you're just an object.
Chie-san.
Don't look at me like that. You're embarrassing me. Come on, get
Jeez,
going.
what is going
Go,
on here?
Hurry.
What is happening between these two? What the heck?
Yes, I'll see you later.
She's blushing! Chie's blushing! Oh my god. Energized by Chie-san's words, I rush toward the entrance. Turn around and wave to Chie-san. There's more at stake than Labras. I must protect these people. Swear a vow to myself and leave. As I exit the gymnasium, I remain cautious while running down the hallway. Suddenly I pick up a response on my transmitter, which has been silent until now. Stop and focus on picking up the signal.
Guess you hear. Can you hear me? I guess.
The staticky transmission soon becomes clear. It is a voice I recognize very well.
Mitsuru-san?
Good. It seems you're all right too. It's been quite a while since I last used my persona in this manner. To think it would be useful in a place like this.
Is Akihiko-san with you?
No, we were separated, but I can still sense him. I doubt he'll be defeated that easily.
Yeah. He's speaking not out of carelessness, but trust. I know because I feel the same.
I'm sure you're aware by now, but although we came in search of Labras, we appear to have been dragged into another incident. Don't worry about meeting up for now. Under the present conditions, we'd only end up fighting amongst ourselves.
Understood.
I don't know how Labras ties into this situation yet, but be careful.
Before I can answer, the static grows louder and the transmission ends. Knowing that Mitsuru-san and Akihiko-san are okay gives me room to breathe. Invisible walls are everywhere along the hallways, forcing me down a particular path. Follow the route. Soon enough I can see the shoe lockers up ahead. Seems I'm back at the entrance. When I reach the entrance, the monitor nearby turns on as if it were waiting for me. As usual, it is General Teddy. Take a defensive stance. Appears to be the area for my next battle.
You're pretty good for a latecomer.
The instant General Teddy appears on the TV, my sensors pick up that noise again. My suspicion turns into certainty. General Teddy is doing something before the matches. Whatever it makes the opponent belligerent, or something similar. I can assume that neither Kanji-san nor Teddy-san Kanji-san nor Chie-san were acting like themselves before the battle. To explain why none of our stories were consistent afterwards.
Well then, bring out the next opponent!
Yukiko? Yosuke? Who's it gonna be? Persona 4 protagonist? I hear light footsteps. A young man wearing his hat low arrives.
Naturally,
Oh,
of the three of you,
Naoto.
you're the one I encounter first.
He shrugs his shoulders and pulls the brim lower. This boy was also in the promotional video. His name was Naoto Shirogane. Putting myself to high alert. Said, the three of you.
You know about us?
Hearing my question, he smiles cynically.
Did Mitsuru Kirijo not inform you? I don't merely know about you. I was there at the airport. The Kirijo group seems rather lax for a multinational corporation, allowing a machine to act autonomously and take command. To be
Of
frank,
course, they're gonna say
watching
rude
you
things.
fills me with pity. Perhaps the kindest thing to do would be to give you a merciful end.
Oh, Naoto, don't say that.
Pity?
Your existence is inherently a deception, isn't it? You're a machine, and a weapon on top of that. Yet you look human. Those who meet you think you're human. You even seem to believe it yourself. Truly pitiful.
Bro, she's a robot that's human-kin. I have no answer to this. As much as I don't want to believe it, it's all
You
true.
were built to consider yourself human in order to activate the ability to wield a persona. Your appearance and your heart are only prerequisites for that power. I'm sure you've realized it already. You will never find the means to cross the gap between the human heart and your mechanical frame. No matter how much you want love, you'll never
Oh
earn
my
it.
god.
At best, people grow fond of you.
That is brutal. Sounds as if he knows for certain. Shaking my head in spite of myself.
The more I consider the matter, the more I genuinely pity you. I'd best hurry up and put an end to your pathetic life.
Yeah, I guess isn't human. Definitely a person, but not human. Yeah, exactly. But she's like human kin, you know? Naoto draws his gun. Because my eyes are lowered, I'm slow to react. I already knew that we had to fight, and yet, first my carelessness and quickly stand back up. Oh, I guess I just realized the pro of moving back home means that the fire alarm probably isn't gonna go off every heckin' stream now. So we won't have those interruptions again. If the fire alarm goes off, it would be actually because of an emergency.
Finally! Fight!
I failed. Aim. Now you crossed the line.
Jeez, Naoto's screams are insane.
Hardly fair.
Oh dude, though that computer didn't even try.
Overwhelmed the opponent in the end.
That was probably the easiest fight yet. What the heck, Naoto? Naoto-san slowly gets up. Some staggering that seems to be caused by dizziness. Watch carefully for any changes in behavior. I'm surprised with what I hear
Are
next.
you thinking what I'm thinking? The mastermind behind this tournament may have some means of fogging our senses. Were you suspecting that as well?
Yes.
Seeing me nod, Naoto-san
Then we are in
smiles.
agreement. Its aim appears to be to make friends fight one another, though it's a mystery to me as to why it would do such a thing.
Naoto-san brushes some dust off and walks toward me.
But the battle is over and the interference has been lifted. Given past examples, the pattern is clear. How about it? Why don't we talk things over?
I have no objections. Naoto-san seems to understand everything. Nod my head, relieved.
I am Naoto Shirogane. I work as a detective. I agreed to act as an observer for the police regarding the special cargo, met with Kirijo-san beforehand, and accompanied her to the airport.
So that's how you knew about us. I recall seeing you in the introductory video along with the other competitors.
They're good friends of mine. I attend Yasogami High, the same school as them.
I see. So after you finished your business and returned to your hometown, that video appeared on TV. Is that correct?
That's right. At least that's what I should say if I wanted to feign innocence.
What?
The real reason I came here is because I was tailing you. It was for a secret investigation.
For who?
Naturally, I cannot reveal my client or what their aims are, but I'm sure you have your own secrets to keep. What do you think? As long as we're in the same boat, why not cooperate?
I become tense at the mention of a secret investigation. That is not important now.
I see. It would not be wise to continue to stand in each other's way in this situation.
I accept Naoto-san's hand and we shake.
How much do you know about this world?
Your friend told me it's a realm formed by human thought. In which case, why a school?
This place varies according to people's mental state. When someone enters it directly, they have a much stronger effect on it. For a normal person with no persona-based resistances, a dangerous situation will arise where their shadow goes berserk. That happened frequently in the case I was involved with last year. This false school may have something to do with it.
I consider Labras. According to her specifications, she should be able to use a persona, but did this come from her mind? High school. Why Yasogami High School of all places? There's no prior knowledge of the place. I never even visited Inaba. But if that girl is Labras, she undoubtedly has a heart. Is it possible that something like what Naoto-san suggested could happen?
I assume you have a theory already?
Yes. Thank you very much. I believe I'm slowly starting to understand what's going on.
I look down the path ahead. Before I go, I turn and ask Naoto-san a
Would
question.
you mind telling me something? Why did you tell me about your secret agenda?
I suppose because it wouldn't be fair otherwise.
A wry smile appears over Naoto-san's face.
Given that I cannot leave here and must trust my friend's fate to you, it would be unfair to continue deceiving you. But not only that, you carry out your duties with little care for your true appearance. You and I are not on equal grounds there.
My true appearance?
Consider it a sign of my respect for that. I still seem to have a soft spot.
Naoto-san's smile fades and she looks at me solemnly.
Aiga-san, I ask only one thing of you. Please save my friends.
That is my intention.
Thank you. I'll wait here, secure in knowing that.
We nod to each other. Kei-san, Kanji-san, and Naoto-san are also different. They're all connected by a strong bond. Knowing that fills my heart with warmth.
I am curious, though. When you refer to your true appearance, do you mean the fact that you are a woman?
What?
Am I mistaken?
Oh, well...
Your clothing hides it, but my sensor scan shows the body measurements of a human with female proportions.
What do you mean? How much can you see?
Oh god. Suddenly Naoto-san loses all composure and turns red, covering her chest with her arms. What happened? I don't think I said anything to warrant such a reaction. Just then, General Teddy interrupts over the monitor.
Hey, enough with the chit-chat! Hurry up and move on to the next!
Would you like to know your current measurements?
Oh my
From
god.
top to bottom, they are...
That's quite all right.
Teddy?
Never mind, little old me. Please finish that line of thought. I demand it!
How did we get so off subject? If you're going to go, please hurry and leave.
She yelled at me. Must have said something rude. That still happens every so often. An innocuous remark can greatly upset someone. I must keep practicing. She didn't do it on purpose. Climb the stairway and notice a silhouette in one of the classrooms. Carefully, it could be that student council president's, Labris. I'll be relieved if I'd caught up to her so soon. The hand I raised to knock on the door inadvertently stops. Wait, could she be my next opponent? It wasn't in the promotional video, but neither was I, yet I am being forced to fight in the Grand Prix. There's no point in worrying about that now. I cannot change the path I take, nor the opponents I must face. I turn myself and knock lightly on the door. Is gonna be Teddy in there as well?
You're that girl from before.
The girl turns and notices me, set foot in the classroom. No immediate interruption from General Teddy. Looks like he has not scheduled a match between us. I breathe a sign of relief.
What are you doing here?
Ain't it obvious? I'm cleaning up the classroom. It's no picnic, what with people running wild and wrecking things.
She takes down the chairs piled on top of each other and lines them up. You run, she takes a breath. Though she's complaining, there's a gentle smile on her face.
But I guess this is all in a day's work for a student council president. We'll look back on it and laugh, right?
You seem like you're having fun.
That's because I love my school. Even the chores are fun for me. The reason I wanted to be president is because of that. Oh, it can be rough when things get out of hand like this.
Just ask her what her name is and see her break down.
But it's dangerous here. You must leave at once. Won't you come with me?
She seems confused by my words and tilts her head to one
What?
side.
You're worried about me? Hey, I'm the president. And you might not think so to look at me, but I ain't no slouch in a fight. I'll be fine.
No, that's not what I mean.
How should I put this? She still has no idea of the danger. She walks up next to me, takes a long look at my face and giggles.
Your clothes are pretty out there. But I can see you mean well. Thanks. Some of these students won't listen to a word I say. But I feel like I gotta be here. No. I wanna be here.
Even if it puts you in danger?
You're really a drama queen, aren't you?
Oh my god.
Who's to say I'm in danger for sure? Besides,
eyes burn with affection for something dear
even
to
if
her.
you're right, I'd want to stay here.
There's no need to test her commitment. It's consistent with the fact of this world being created. Then, is she human?
I always wanted to go to school with everyone. Just like normal. That's all.
Just ask her if she's hecking Labris. That's it. That's all you gotta do.
Does that imply you couldn't do so before?
You're asking me that now? Honestly? Back then,
Stops abruptly. I wait patiently for her to continue, but her face twists with suffering. Puts her fingers to her temple. Her knees begin to buckle.
What's wrong? Weird. The past. How come it's...
She begins to fall and I catch her. At that precise moment. There's a strong reading from my fingers as soon as I touch her. So strong, like touching a hot stove. It's the same reading when I first stuck my hand into the TV. It's coming from a personality module. A piece of lost technology that researchers had called plumes of dusk due to their shape. I have one inside me as well. It's not merely strong evidence, it is conclusive. There are still questions to be answered, but this girl can be none other than Labris. At the very least, she is not human.
Sorry, I'm not feeling so good all of a sudden.
The memory she is trying to access is causing conflicts with her current level of awareness. If she tries to remember, she will not be able to maintain her mental state. The memory is that charged. I hold her close and wait for her to calm down. Her reaction does not improve, it gets worse. She shakes violently, as if electrified. Suddenly a bright light bursts in front of my eyes. Something flowing into me? Quickly let go of Labris, but it does not fade away easily. Images I don't recognize flow together in my head, one after another, at incredible speeds. Whoa!
Are these Labris's memories?
The torrent of data finally subsides. I analyze the data to find out what happened, and then I understand. It did not flow into me. Data was already dormant inside of me. I am the last number of the anti-shadow weapons project. I inherited all the data from previous modules of the same type, both tangible and intangible. Labris's memories were a part of it. Normally, developers would not upload data into me that was unrelated to battle. The Plume of Dusk is a black box. It is possible that something was transferred somehow through that. Thinking about it, that might have been the reason I thought I saw Labris at the airport. My glimpse of the newly awakened Labris caused my buried records of her appearance to be called. Perhaps that is what happened. Unfortunately, the memories I've just accessed are completely in disarray. I can't flip through it like an album. The video records are not in chronological order, meaning I can't make sense of them in their current state. However, there is one memory that left an impression on me. The sea. Its cerulean sky and lingering clouds, the emerald blue water. All of the other memories are of cold mechanical rooms or the night sky. This one is different.
What was that just now?
Barbara staggers as she stands up. Before I can ask her anything, she abruptly shakes me off and runs out of the classroom.
Wait!
I try to chase after her, but only after a few steps I trip over my own feet. Information overload has prevented me from making any sudden movements. I fight through it, dragging what feels to be several times the weight of my legs, when
Are you sure you want to take that girl out of here?
What? Stumble to a stop and look around, searching for the hidden speaker.
This is the only place she can fit in. No one will understand her once she steps outside. But she can't become human either. So she has no other choice but to wallow in this illusory school. Pitiable, isn't she? But this is the only way she can be happy. Are you going to take that from her?
Stop, suddenly realizing the answer to my question, and catch my breath in my throat. This voice. Mine.
What will you do after you take her from here? Lock her up in a box again? How cruel. No wonder she ran away. Ran away? What are you... You don't mean... You finally figured it out? Labris wasn't brought here by some sinister mastermind. She escaped on her own and came here.
Doubt. What was the whole, hijacking thing then? If she... Nah.
That can't be.
Yeah.
The suspects in the hijacking case, I'm sure you've seen the opponents you fought so far robbed of their sanity. Have you forgotten already? You're saying that was Labris's doing
No.
too?
What?
Yes. Her heart gave birth to this world, and that power is one of her abilities, from some special equipment.
Okay.
With a power like that, wouldn't it be simple to control a number of ordinary people?
It's true that the hijackers were confused and that there were signs of some mental interference.
It does seem strange to go to so much trouble to come to a place like this. If she did in fact do this, then she must face herself. What gives you the right to say that?
Suddenly, the tone of her voice changes. She speaks very gently, like a parent correcting a child.
You've experienced suffering before, too. It pains you to have a heart, knowing that you can never be human. Even if there was someone you considered to be worth fighting for, you can't be a real companion to them. That's why you chose to protect them as a weapon. But in the end, you still lost them. What do you know about me? Mere words will not cause me to abandon hope. A brave bluff. But a tool like yourself can never be a true partner for a human. Doesn't your heart yearn to be by their side and to be loved? It hurts so much that I wish I could go back to how I was before I gained a heart. Has that really never once crossed your mind? I think not. That pain will never completely disappear.
Man, she's really just sitting here and taking this.
Fester inside you. Isn't that right? Even if you take Labris away, the same will happen to her. She'll become just like you. Is that a fate you want for her? You see, here you can have anything, as long as you look away from the truth. That doesn't just go for Labris, but for you too. Even the things you have lost forever. Here, you can have them back.
Oh, no. Oh my god. What they're alluding to.
What are you?
Cut myself off, realizing I've become fascinated with the voice. This isn't good. Not let the voice deceive me. Let's get its speaker in my sights first. I carefully attune myself to the source of the voice and quickly turn in that direction. The person standing there is me. Or rather, something that looks like me. First, I think that the overload is still affecting my sensors. That is not the case.
I'll take away your suffering. Now, take my hand, Aegis.
I smile and extend out my hand. I feel dazed. It's very confusing. I don't know what to do. My mind advises caution, but my heart doesn't listen. But all of a sudden, the door opens in the corner.
Pardon my interruption of this seemingly trivial conversation.
Let's go! The unexpected event brings me back to reality and realize I was nearly seduced by its promises. On a second look, I see a woman beyond the doorframe. A distinctive blue dress. I recognize the attire of an elevator girl. Her name was Elizabeth, I believe. Why is she here? Elizabeth walks right in and stands in the center of the room. Nothing outwardly abnormal about her pose, but as if imposing a battle stance. She opens her thick leather-bound book and smiles dauntlessly at the other me.
Excuse me, but I would like a word with this lady over here. Would you mind leaving?
Who are you?
If you don't leave the two of us, I must resort to giving you a hearty thrashing with my book. It's a hardcover, leather-bound edition, and is quite powerful. Enough to do over 4 digits on average, I'd say.
Oh, heck yeah. Without warning, the pages from the open book overflow with light.
I don't believe this.
Are we actually not gonna fight? The other me flinches in pain, and she vanishes into thin air while spitting out her. Is she gone now? I no longer pick up any readings on her. Then she leaves my body and I collapse on the ground. While I'm there, Elizabeth walks toward me. I first met her 2 years ago. Her attire is somewhat strange. The place I met her was even stranger. A blue room. That is the only way to describe that mystical place. The residents called it the Velvet Room. I do not believe it is all part of the real world. There, Elizabeth was the one who governs power. She helped me to grow spiritually by introducing me to the power of personas. I never imagined that she would leave that room, let alone I would run into her here. Yet her appearance here has saved me.
I'm sorry for that. Thank you for saving me.
Did I save you?
She stares straight at me and looks at a long sigh of
I
disappointment.
was on a journey for personal reasons. But I sensed some extraordinary powers clashing against each other and came to see what all the fuss was about. Only to be met with this bitter disappointment.
I'm baffled by our candidness.
Please stand. Have you already forgotten the enlightenment you gained before me once? Has it escaped your prodigious goldfish-like memory?
Oh my god.
It seems that I must once again ascertain what you are truly capable of.
Oh, so we are gonna fight. She speaks as if she's engaging in everyday conversation and opens her leather-bound book again. Suddenly a murderous aura fills the area, fierce as a gust of wind. Something about me has disappointed her, I know that much. I clearly have no time to ask her what it is.
Here goes. The cards will decide your fate.
What is that? Not code word, but phrase. The heart of the cards. Okay, Elizabeth.
Finally! Fight!
I see.
Remarkable.
Persona.
Oopsie daisy.
Opening my everything's spinning.
Right there. Right. Strike.
Oh my. What? Impassive.
Oh, there, strike. Go.
Easy.
Venator. Fire.
Oh my.
Here is some electric.
Fight. Severe impact.
Ouch.
Much damage.
Oh my.
Persona. I failed.
Daisy.
Persona.
Change things up.
No.
Heck, did she grab me? Is that what her grab
Venator.
is?
Everything's spinning.
Right there.
Persona.
Severe impact.
What? Oh no.
Well, she damaged me a little bit. Looks like there's no alternate routes. Not in the Aegis's playthrough,
Well
I
done.
guess. Elizabeth stands from her kneeling position. Though she lost, she did not seem not so much as break a sweat. While I, for my part, am detecting strain in my entire drive system. I can see myself, lacking the energy to even speak, reflected in Elizabeth's eyes.
You are indeed neither man nor any ordinary machine. You are truly singular. But then can anyone be said to be the same as anybody else? People anguish over the gulf between themselves and others, and the lack of any who could possibly understand them. How is their situation different from yours?
Oh.
What defines life is not death, but bonds. That is the answer you once reached.
All Persona is about is hecking bonds. It cannot be friendship. It is not friendship, it is bonds. Very, very different.
Then take that to heart and go forth. Remember that your bonds will remain unbroken, giving you the strength to withstand any suffering.
My bonds.
I, too, am currently on an endless journey, but I anticipate that you will become a compatriot of mine, unbound by the limitations of time. I hope that you will not be led astray by trivial things. With that, I bid you good luck.
Aww. Elizabeth bows and finally shows me her smile. Think you are fighting too easy opponents in the story? You should check out the difficulty options. Yeah, but I don't want to go too hard. I don't want to go too hard. I think easy is good. I suddenly remember.
There are rules to this tournament delineating behavior after a match.
Such parlor tricks can get stuffed. I shall be on my way.
True to her word, she leaves the room with no trouble and closes the door with an exaggerated slam. Those walls are nothing to her. Come to think of it, Labras didn't seem subject to those rules either. Do they only apply to participants in the tournament? No. In Elizabeth's case, it does not simply matter to her.
She remains a complete enigma.
I find it amusing, which allows me to feel more relaxed.
It may be true that this world can grant one's true desire, but I want Labras to see past herself to a world where other people matter. Even if one discards their bonds to avoid pain, all that awaits is a numb, desert-like future with no promise. I thought as she did once, so I'm sure I can understand her.
I too felt the same as Labras when I went through an incredibly trying ordeal. If there's no one to reach out to her, she'll become even more trapped. She is now, Labras cannot escape on her own. Because the key to extracting oneself is the realization that one is not alone.
I want to form a bond with Labris.
Yes!
With my sister. I want to teach her things that she cannot learn if she is alone.
Oh my gosh, yes. Saying it out loud helps to strengthen my resolve, change my approach, and focus on searching for a way to save her. Still, that thing that looked like me. Is that what Naoto-san meant by shadow going berserk? My own shadow. Thinking of it that way sheds some light on things. Of course, I can control my persona, have some resistance to the effects of this world. The heart cannot be so easily stabilized. The same thing happened to Labris. Suddenly realized the dangers involved. Impatiently suppress these thoughts and dash out into the hallway. And after this should be the, what's it called? Conflict with her? What's it called? When you go up to someone and there's like a big, not fight. Heck, I can't think of words. I follow the path formed by invisible walls. Eventually I climb the stairway to the 3rd floor. There seem to be no walls there, allowing me to go as I please. I can tell the end is near, so I prepare myself. Soon I stand in front of a room that has a sign outside saying, "Announcement Room." The door is half opened, and I can sense someone inside. Cautiously press up against the door and peek around it. Yep, here we go. This is an announcement room, as the sign indicated, but the space inside is much larger than the classrooms I have seen. Equipment here is also closer to that of a TV studio than what could be found in a school. On top of that, the back wall is made of glass, showing the view that is clearly not a schoolyard. Taken together, this is the first distinct sign that this is not a real world. As I expected, Labris is here, standing in the middle of the room. There's also another boy and girl as well. The girl is holding Labris' shoulders, and the boy is standing in front of the pair, protecting them. Across from them is General Teddy. Seems like this is the end of the line. Look at that boy's face in the video. Yosuke! Yosuke Hanamura-san, I believe. I'm not familiar with the girl's face, but I do recognize her distinctive voice. The same voice that has been commentating on the fights along with General Teddy on the school PA. From the tone of commentating, I thought she was working with the General. Now it seems she seems to be on Yosuke-san Labris' side. Recall what Chie-san told me. Chie-san said that she, Rise-san, was originally her friend. In which case, she may be actually another victim. General Teddy gives me a cruel smile, squints his eyes, and speaks.
What a shame. You gave it a try, but there's no way anyone would understand you. Huh?
General Teddy's voice and tone have undergone a remarkable change. Listening closely, this voice is... so it finally reveals its true form.
At least one of them has to understand how I feel. Isn't that what you thought? The important part is that it's all your fault. That's not true. You still refuse to remember? Look at me. And stop deluding yourself.
Here we go. Is this really where it's going to be continued? I feel like I might go farther. Are these captions actually synced correctly? Another new animation. Keep deluding yourself. She does have a weapon, not guns. Weapon.
I am a shadow. The true self.
No way. That's... She has my face.
But the face is the only thing that is the same. The rest of her body is covered in metal. There's no doubt that this is man-made. Labris lets out a short scream and backs up.
Stop! I'm not like that! Calm down. It's just taking that form to agitate you.
Yosuke is frantically trying to calm Labris down. She's trying to take on that form to agitate you. What he says, but is that really the case? I have my own suspicions.
No! 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 Taking that form, huh? Well, you have a point. I do have the power to confuse people's senses, warp what they're seeing, twist what they're hearing.
That's how you made my senpai fight each other!
Of the things you're seeing right now, which do you think is real and which is fake?
The former General Teddy. No, Labrys's shadow breaks into a grin. Labrys, meanwhile, is cringing in fear as she holds onto Yosuke's sleeve.
No! I'm not like you! I'm human, aren't I?
Huh? What do you mean?
I can see that Yosuke does not know how to answer the sudden question.
And how did I come to have these special powers? Why, it's because I have them.
With that, the shadow snaps its fingers. At once, static like that on a poorly tuned TV starts appearing around Labrys and slowly envelops her. I enhance my vision. Nothing is happening to Labrys's body. My own vision that was clouded, or had been until now. Cringing in fear sounds like my content. Soon after the noise dissipates, an inhuman-looking girl is standing in her place.
Huh? A robot?
Metallic arms and legs extend from her uniform. Thrusters on her back spread like wings. It's as I thought. Her body's identical to that of the shadow in front of her.
Look, that's what she really looks like. It's her who's been deceiving you all from the start. Not only you, but herself too. She really thinks that she's a human living a normal life at school. To reinforce her make-believe as real, she prevented herself from accessing any memories that could contradict that. She even sealed away her own name. No! Stop! Why are you doing this? Kindly hurry up and remember me. Remember yourself. It's pretty rude of you to even forget your own name.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to remember! Huh. Is that so? Looks like you still need an extra push.
Shadow grins evilly and swings the enormous axe at Labrys. Or actually at Yosuke-san.
Yosuke-senpai!
Before the axe can complete its arc, I'm already in action. I must intervene. Neither Labrys, in shock of seeing her true form, nor Yosuke-san or Chie-san is prepared for the attack.
What the?
I deflect the strike with the metallic part of my arm. I was heavier than I anticipated. The battle axe is a giant lump of metal that blocks most of my vision.
Girl? Wait, you're a robot too?
I turned my head to Labrys and looked straight into her shocked
You
eyes.
must remember, that is the only way the future will open up to you. You must accept it, no matter how painful it may be.
I tell her name in a clear voice. Her official name, which includes something no human has, a model
Your
number.
true name is 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon, Labrys.
Labrys quivers violently, as if an invisible arrow had pierced her chest. To be continued! Aw, heck. We have, what, 4 more left? Oh, heck! We unlocked Labrys. Oh, who is this final one? Margaret? Rise? Who is more important than Labrys in this story? Right? A part of me wants to just skip these two and go straight to Labrys, but... but we gotta do Akihiko and Mitsuru. I'm assuming they might be a little shorter. But we're almost done. Lead 49%. Come on, where's the extra 1% to make it 50? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 12. There's 12 and we did 8 of them, so it should be more than 49%, shouldn't it? Or am I understanding this wrong? Probably. I'll be honest, I'm a little more excited for Ultimax than completing Arena, but gotta do what you gotta do, you know? So, I guess that'll be it for this time. Thank you guys for joining me, and I hope you guys have a good day or a good night wherever you are. I'll be seeing ya. Thank you again. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.